everyone doing today? Matt here with Game for Change, alongside our very first guest, Mr. Drew Brent himself. But we officially have, through the end of the year, at least one show booked every single month, and I'm really excited for you guys.
A show a month.
A show a month.
Dude, come on.
Ranging from different individuals from the River Valley to different organizations. It's going to be a lot of fun. With that being said, now that I finally got this guy here, Drew, why don't you tell the audience what game we're going to be playing for our first show?
I cannot wait to be a part of Game for Change. This is going to be so much fun. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about a lot of different things that you've been wanting to talk about, that I've been wanting to talk about, some things that we can really get going in the River Valley. But of course, the video track to this,
right,
the soundtrack to the change that we're going to make in the River Valley,
right,
WWE 2K18. Of course, what? So the whole thing is going to be so much fun. We're going to be talking about how we can move the River Valley forward. We can also be talking about how I'm going to put you through a table. All of these things happening at one time. What other show have you ever seen in your life that will benefit River Valley charities, will promote community goodness, and you can hit your opponent in the head with a steel chair? We got it all!
Shall we play a game?
But we are finally here. Game for Change, Russellville, Arkansas is officially live. Man, I just want to say that it's been a long time coming, for sure, and we are really excited to bring about some positive impact and some positive change here in the River Valley. In case you didn't know, my name is Matt Ketchum, and I will be your esteemed host for this evening. So first off, what we're going to do, I'm going to tell you a little bit about us. You're probably tuning in, because somebody shared a link. You don't really know much about us. We are Game for Change. We are going to be an organization based here in Russellville, Arkansas, and our sole purpose is to, like I said, provide positive impact, but also the people that do the real good around here, the nonprofit organizations, the individuals that go above and beyond. We are going to lift them up and give them a platform to talk about their message while we play video games. I've wanted to do something like this for a long time, and it just kind of morphed and just kind of rolled into what we are today. I'm really excited. I've got a really awesome first guest. I've got two really good people here to host with me, and we're going to be playing WWE 2K19. So, setting off on a journey, can't do a journey alone, can you? And with that being said, I brought in two people that I fully trust with my entire heart to help me lead this. First host that I'm going to be introducing, I've known him a long time, pretty much my entire life. When I first set off on this, there was no doubt that this was going to be the person I was going to ask. We grew up together. I trust his heart. I trust him fully. And he's just all around, he's a really great guy. Ladies and gentlemen, this guest, this host right here, he has tried out for American Idol. He has traveled worldwide. He was my co-host on the Irrelevant Hour for all you OGs out there. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, did I mention that he is also single? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce my guest host. He is the keeper of the snacks, and he is the master of the one-liners. Please give it up for Mr. Alan Cunningham.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Matt. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm really excited to have you here, man. And before we kind of go into our next host, I just wanted to ask you, why did you decide to do this?
That's a great question, Matt. You came to me. What was one of the first things you said? I have a dream. And if I can help you make that dream become a reality, I'm all for it. That's my biggest reason.
Much appreciated.
Okay.
All right, we're going to roll right along into our next host. Again, another person that I trusted 100% with this idea, this dream of mine. And The reason why I asked him is because he brings a different dynamic to this team. He is not afraid to tell me when maybe I'm out of line on something. I trust him with his honesty, and you absolutely have to have somebody like that when you start walking. And let's see here. I think it's important to have chemistry, like I said I had with Alan. But it's also honest to have somebody that's going to definitely keep you honest. His work ethic, the way he pours himself into everything that he does, is just something that is really enlightening. And the way that he's able to push people to achieve their goals and their limits without being overbearing is just definitely something that I thought I needed on this team. By the way, interesting story about him. He plays in two of the hottest bands here in the River Valley. He is an excellent musician. He is my good friend. And by the way, when he grows up, he wants to be a basketball. Please give it up for Joey Balch.
What's going on? Thank you for the kind words.
Appreciate it. For those of you tuning in right now, we obviously are not just now starting. We've been working for an hour and a half to try to get this stream going. And I could not have done it without Joey. Joey, it is an honor to have you here. And I just want to kind of start the same thing I asked Alan. What is it that attracted you to Game for Change?
Well, for me, I feel like I have a lot of technical experience with stuff, not necessarily live broadcasting or anything like that, but I know how technology works and stuff, and so I like working with that stuff. And so whenever you were first, you first came to me and was telling me about it, I was just like, awesome, I want in, because like if you need any help with producing or whatever, and I didn't think you would ask me to help host, but I'm happy to do that too. But that's the main reason. I was just like wanting to be an asset because I believe in what we're doing here.
I definitely appreciate it. Why don't you guys tell each other and the audience as well, where are you from?
Born and raised right here in the River Valley.
I like it. Joey, what about you, man?
Oh yeah, same. I'm from the other side of the river.
Let me get your guys' opinion on something. If you're going to do something like this, your first show, you got to go big. Am I right?
Go for broke.
Yeah, you gotta go big.
Go team.
Well, I feel like we should have booked the hottest, absolute best first person we could have.
Yeah, we really should have.
All right,
I agree with
that. Ladies and gentlemen, there was never another person I was going to ask first to be on this show. I've known him for a really long time. We've become really good friends, brothers. And man, he is a River Valley legend in my eyes. I am so pumped and excited to introduce you to the man himself, Drew Brent.
Thank you for the esteemed studio audience clapping here at the world headquarters of Game for Change. I don't know if everybody knows this. $137 billion was invested into this operation to get this thing started, plus or minus about $137 billion. So just know that give or take somewhere in there, a billion here, a billion there. Thank you for having me. I think, first off, River Valley legend is a stretch by like a lot, but I appreciate the kind words. And dude, let me just go ahead and start before we really get into this and I hit you in the face with a steel chair, because that's really why I came. Anything that's worth doing is hard. Mm-hmm. Anything that's worth doing, that very first time that you try to start doing something like this, you're going to have difficulties. You're going to have some things that go wrong. You are doing an outstanding job. This is a completely new, innovative, creative way to bring some awareness to things in the River Valley. So, bro, you don't get to say anymore while I'm sitting in this room, I'm not good at this, because this is your idea. This is your vision. This is your baby. You did a great job. So,
well, much appreciated. No, stop that.
Studio audience. I want to hear them laugh, like a laugh track. Okay, come on, try it. Let's just can you?
Cueing laugh track in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, you sound a little like Peter Griffin if like the pitch is that was messed up. It's a little creepy in here.
Okay. So before we jump into the gameplay, I just wanted to talk a little bit about you and some things that you've done. I want to tell the story of how we met.
Okay.
This is actually before Pizza Hut. I don't know if me and you have ever had this conversation.
Okay.
When I was in college, I was a journalism major, and I was going to become a broadcast journalist, and I'd kind of made some connections here in Russellville. And my first ever experience of you was you were on the Sports Blitz.
Oh, yeah, that's old school.
Yeah, and it was right when the Joe Pa story had broke out about the scandal at Penn State.
Yeah.
And my first ever reaction is just you just going on this absolute tangent. And I thought, wow, I will never like this guy.
That's what most people's first impression of me is, by the way.
But, I'd listen to you guys. I believe it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday was how the show setup was. I listened to you guys all the time going into when we did the Armchair Quarterback Challenge. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you remember this either. I beat you in that.
Actually, I do remember that because that was with Mark Freeman, and that was on KWXT, which is, I think, a defunct station here in Russellville now, but it used to be over on Parkway, and you couldn't hear the signal in the parking lot, but it was excuse me, it was a lot of fun. Mark Freeman, now the editor-in-chief at River Valley now, he's made a great living, done a very good job of bringing news to the River Valley, and so that was a lot, and he's an excellent person. That was a lot of fun. I can't the Sports Blitz, that was and by the way, that Joe Pa rant was completely and totally, I don't know what I said, but whatever it was, I'm sure I was right. So
yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so whatever, it's fine. Joe Pa, that statue should have come down way before it did. So
right, for sure. Well, then also I ended up working at Pizza Hut. We meet each other there, and things just kind of rolled forward. I'm also going to tell the audience the story about the first time my wife met you.
Okay.
It's a beautiful day. My wife and I we're like, hey, we're going to stop at Sonic. We're going to get a drink. Happy hour time. Local plug. We drive through the drive-through. They get our order, and I'm waiting to pay, and we're just sitting there talking, and this just bearded man bursts out of the drive-through window, and all he says is, I love Matt Ketchum, and he shuts the window and he leaves. I look over at Rachel, and she goes, do you care to explain? And as they say, the rest is history.
I was the general manager at Sonic at that time, so it was a lot of fun. And first time Rachel met me was because very strange because I did proclaim my love for you in a drive-through window over a milkshake, which is really how all love begins, quite honestly.
Right. So just a couple of things I want to run down, and I promise, guys, we're going to jump into the gameplay very shortly.
Please do. I'm ready to hit you with a chair.
Good luck. Drew, you have quite a few accomplishments under your belt at such a young age. You are an award-winning journalist. Similar to what I was talking about, Joey, with one of the hottest bands around, you are the singer of that band. Mm-hmm. I've seen you MC multiple events. You are an actual homegrown local hero. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not at all. And actually, the fact that you say that makes me just a little bit uncomfortable. I don't think that's the right word, and I don't know that I like that word. I think the word is active, and also I do a lot of things for free, so that's why I get to do them. Right. So I mean, that's a lot of it. Heroes, I mean, that's not me. I'm just a guy who kind of gets to do stuff, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, it's all in the eye of the beholder, too. So, like, you might be a hero to somebody else.
I can tell you quite honestly, I felt like a hero the other night when I got home from work. My stepdaughter Adora, who is, by the way, the most beautiful child that God ever created in the history of the planet. Actually, Kenna was over as well. Matt's daughter Kenna was over at our house, and the first thing that Adora said was, will you hook up my unicorn sprinkler? I'd worked 10 hours that day. It was dark. We put the sprinkler up. I was absolutely a hero in her eyes at that point. This is a 6-foot sprinkler, by the way. That's a giant unicorn that was in my front yard, which, I'd never as a young man ever envisioned I would do on purpose for any reason, but there it is. And so I mean, I'm a hero in her eyes, and I'm okay with that. But the word hero is not appropriate for me. I don't like it, but I appreciate it, and I do get to do a lot of stuff.
Well, like Joey said, man, it's honestly, it's an eye of the beholder. You've done so much in my life personally that I feel like I never thank you enough, and this is my opportunity.
Well, rock on. Thank you, man.
But I'm ready to just absolutely pummel you into the ground.
Let's do this. Let's game for change.
Thank you for the plug.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome for that. See, well, the thing is that I was told that there was going to be cheese and crackers, and there are, in fact, no cheese and crackers. There's chocolate pie, but I will indulge in that here in just a little bit. I work for Cheez-Its. I'm fine with that.
Well, during his intro, I said that Alan is the master of snacks, and I did not lie about that. He brought pie.
I was told there would be punch and pie, and that's why I'm here. Chris George really needs to do that. He does a much better impression of Cartman than I do. Never seen the show. I guarantee you he's never seen the show, but he does a much better impression of Cartman than I do.
Shout out to all of our fine friends down at Joshua's Fine Jewelry. All right.
Not a sponsor yet.
Hit us up on Facebook.